Hey guys, I've just pulled out a few things to make a soup. So I'm gonna do like a kale soup. I've got a bunch of this kale and some of this purple kale. These are two little like sausage patties. They're breakfast sausage, but I figured that would work in here. I found a recipe for zuppa toscana, the kind from Olive Garden, and I'm kind of just expanding on that. This is bacon fat, which I like to use to render vegetables. An onion. These are pieces of green bell pepper. I need to use up. One zucchini that is getting a little bit, overripe, so I need to use that up. Just some carrots and celery. And then this is leftover pork roast that I'll shred up and put in the soup. I have potatoes as well, if I want to do chopped up potatoes or beans or some kind of pasta or rice. I'm not quite sure, but I wanted to get started on the vegetable components and get those cooking.
So here I've got all the vegetables sauteing. That's the onion, carrot, zucchini, also the sausage. I'm going to put in some vegetable broth. Oh, and I did add in garlic. Also added a number of spices here, some oregano and thyme and sage, kind of goes nicely with the sausage. I did end up using bacon fat as well as the Creole seasoning. That stuff is really good, but can be kind of spicy. So thinking about adding in rosemary as well and a bay leaf to let it all simmer. I'm going to go ahead and add in some tomato paste to help thicken it up and give some tomato base to it. I would love to add like some diced tomatoes, but I don't have those, so I'm going to add a good bit of this to give it some tomato flavor. So it's a good bit later and I've added more broth and water, and I also went ahead and added in that kale, and then I boiled in some orzo as well. So I had to just run out to the store and pick that up, but I thought it would be a really nice addition, and it was definitely great to get those vegetables cooked ahead of time. I did end up using all the tomato paste, and this is just going to be a nice little stew/soup for dinner.
Guys, I did not film any of this, but I ended up making a pecan pie. So I just used the recipe that's on the back of the Kale bottle, and I put all the nuts in it, and then I decorate with more on top. So I had pecan halves, and then the chopped pecans were in it. I made one a while back for a work event, and I had leftover, so I thought I would do it. This is an empty like beer bottle that I used my rolling pin. Definitely should probably get a real rolling pin. So I made the whole crust, which is why I have this like parchment thing down, but I made the crust using food processor. There's just the mixture I made with the pecans. So I'm going to show you the pie over here. It hasn't gone in the crust or in the oven yet, but I decorated the top. I didn't have quite enough to go to the edge. This was all I had left, and these were all kind of broken up. So that's the best I could do with the decoration on top. Hopefully it's centered. Doesn't quite look exactly centered, but that's okay. So that's the pecan pie. I'm going to bake this and bring it with me. We're going to Alabama to visit my in-laws, so I like to bring something that is traditional in my family. So pecan pie is that. So I made the crust by hand. I hope it's good. I'm sure I've made crust. I don't really remember. So this is definitely the first time in memory that I made it. I was watching Jen Chapin, and she made a bunch of pies, so kind of inspired me. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and put that into the oven. All right, and the pecan pie just came out of the oven. It will definitely like puff down a little bit. It puffs up when it cooks, but and it's still kind of bubbling a little bit, or it was. But anyway, some of the nuts got a little bit dark, but I want to make sure that the crust was getting baked. It looked pretty good on the side. like it looked pretty brown. So just didn't want to have it raw or underbaked by any means. So the really only ones that got like black was like that couple back there. So just have to pick those off, whoever gets that piece. Hey guys, so I am getting ready for dinner. It is Monday night, just after 5 o'clock. I had today off and Matt had to work, so we're heading to do Christmas with his family tomorrow morning. So I had the day off. I've done laundry, I've done self-care, I took a bath, I did a mask. Like, I've had a great day. I made this pie, which I showed you earlier. So I was thinking for dinner, I just started pulling out what I had and what I want to use up. So I've got several vegetables here that I need to use up. Bell pepper, celery, and onion. And then this broccoli, I never even opened it, but I figured it needs to get used up. If I don't use it up, I might as well just take it to my mother-in-law's and so just have her use it for something so it doesn't go bad. Same with this cabbage. You know, once I peel back the outer leaves, it's still good inside, obviously, and cabbage can last a while. So I pulled out. So I pulled out all these vegetables, and then was like, well, what am I going to do with them? So I had this soy sauce ramen in my pantry that I just bought in a random grocery haul because it was on sale for 70 cents for 6 of them. So I thought maybe I could do ramen with vegetables. And I do have some shrimp I could add in, so I'm just not sure. I think I'm going to wait until Matt gets home and see if he's into this. If not, I'll figure out something else. Okay, a little bit later, 20 minutes later, I talked to Matt, and he does want to have some meat in it. So he requested chicken, which this is frozen solid because I wasn't planning on using it. But I'll go ahead and put this into the microwave undefrosted. It's only 1 1/4 pound. So I don't know. It's frustrating because this is what I would use on a meal with leftovers, and I don't want leftovers. So maybe I'll just unthaw or thaw half of it. I don't know. I'll see what I can do. But since it's frozen solid in here, I'm gonna have to pop it out at some point. So.
And here are how the finished plates turned out. We just served it in a big bowl with the noodles and the vegetables, and I added just some soy sauce and sesame oil, and then the packet that came with the ramen. Pretty simple. Then the next day we went to Alabama to Matt's side of the family, and it was such beautiful weather. We ate outside, and it was some really great food, all the classics for Christmas. So we made it back home, and I am still doing some dinners. It's that awkward time between Christmas and New Year's. I actually am not feeling super well, so I just pulled out these turkey burgers out of the freezer. I had frozen them raw a long time ago, and what I'm gonna do is just to use up some of this pasta sauce. I'm just gonna make some type of like baked ziti type dish. So I just cooked up that turkey burger and just chopped it up like it was regular ground beef or ground turkey. Just boiled those noodles, put the sauce in, and I actually portioned them out because I didn't have much of an appetite, and just topped it with cheese. So we'll have these in the fridge to eat on. A few days later, I was feeling a bit better and made it out to the grocery store. So I made some turkey breasts, just the pre-seasoned kind, asparagus sauteed, and homemade mashed potatoes. This was really good and comforting after not feeling so well after a while. So thank you guys so much for watching this week's What's for Dinner, and I will be coming back to you in the new year. Thanks guys, bye.